The amount of comments I've gotten on some of my YouTube videos for lay off the pre-workouts and the forced energy is cringe. They amuse me. So like for a variety of things here. So first off, I haven't taken pre-workouts, especially stimulus pre-workout in like 10 plus years. And for the whole forced energy is cringe. It's actually natural energy that's purely from passion of when I speak about topics that get me fired up. I tend to get a little wired, so to speak, and tend to just go nuts with it and go haywire and just kind of lose myself in the moment and have some good mic drop moments with that. And I think so. It's fascinating to me that people choose to spread their toxicity and insecurities to hate and troll on others that have energy because they just live a life that's so miserable and they walk around defeated all day with low energy levels for a variety of things, depression, mental health issues, and stuff like that. And if they choose to hate on someone like me that has lots of natural energy and it's very expressive out of passion, it amuses me. And like it's a matter of like you're asking the wrong question. So instead of like making a statement of the force energy is cringe, I think a better statement or a question for that matter would be, what do you do to have so much energy? And in fact, I've had people ask me that question over the years, and that's the stuff that interests me. So a few years ago when I was in police school, and I had lots of natural energy and I was just absolutely dominating everything when it came to the what's it called the defensive tactics and the physical training portion of the hands-on curriculum within the police training program. I had a fellow classmate come up to me and ask me, he goes, "Hey Jeff, what do you do?" Or correction, he asked me, "What do you eat to have so much energy?" And I love that question. It was awesome. And so for me, it's something I've learned over the years. It's a combination of a few things, but just to sort of break it down into simple things here is that something that I've learned is that the mind itself is what triggers endorphins as well as adrenaline, whereas to get the energy going, whereas food in general, like carbs and like fats and simple forms of like sugar and of simple forms of like sugar or whatever, they yes, as well as caffeine, it gives us a quick burst of energy, but more or less like those foods in the long term are more or less replenishing um the energy levels that were being used throughout the day, especially to replenish our body's X what just physiology based things of the energy that we're using from the adrenaline rush and endorphins being triggered from the mindset stuff. And rally food is just um it's more serving as like a way to replenish fuel that you're using throughout the day by having a good mindset going into the day and to trigger those adrenaline rushes, the endorphins and the energy with that and anything else. It's honestly a combination of mindsets, food, as well as water and sleep. And then on top, and then food itself is a whole context and correction, it's a topic in itself of eating good quality food. So for example, like carbs, eating good quality carbs of like rice, pasta, and stuff like that, quinoa versus like candy and pop and alcohol and um cake and donuts and stuff like that. So yes, all of those things are still under the category of carbs, alcohol being kind of its own thing in itself. But like there's still a very big a giant gap, a difference between those things of like donuts, pop, and candy versus rice, pasta, quinoa, fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. Whereas at the time, I was actually eating more of a of what you can refer to now as like a ketogenic slash like carnivore based diet. At the time, I was eating actually more of good quality fatty animal based foods such as like fish, red meat, steaks, things of that nature. Really, and at the time I was getting lots of energy from that. But the point being is that for me, it was a combination of two things of having a good mindset going into the day, as well as fueling my body with good quality food that was replenishing all of those everything that I was losing throughout the day, and then also giving me the fuel I needed to go with that. But like on top of it, from a personality point of view, the fact that I just have a more of a vibrant personality in general, while this camera is something random. Let me where's my I had something to yeah, right here. This camera is going in and out. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. So like on top, so between like food and mindset, also if you factor in having a more of like your personality of having like a vibrant, outgoing personality, and then factor in like something I've noticed with natural skinny guys like myself, that everything we do is just sped up faster. So like between constantly like moving and having had just constantly like having like the jitters and stuff all day long, and like we're constantly like we can't sit still for a long period of time. We're constantly doing things with our hands. Our mind's constantly moving. Our mind's constantly roaming, and just everything that we do as just getting men is generally just like fast and always on the move, and including our mindset and our mind itself, as well as like energy levels. I've also yeah, so I've noticed that with natural skinny guys, that we tend to have more energy than natural bigger guys do. And that's also why I think that contributes to having a naturally fast metabolism, because we're constantly moving and roaming and just burning calories throughout the day between our roaming mind, the body in itself, and that all of those things use energy and calories at the end of the day. And I forgot. I'm now branching out, but anyway, but yeah, like energy wise, like it's combination of two things. Well, the main thing is just your mindset. Like for me at the time, after learning and implementing stuff I learned from Jocko and Goggins' work, especially with extreme ownership and good, those two minds, with extreme ownership being a book, and then the mind, and then the mentality of good that he has like a YouTube video on. Well, both for that matter. After I read that book, and then I read Goggins' book of Can't Hurt Me, and then I started applying those things, especially with extreme ownership and the mentality of good. And I went into the day with the winner's mindset of the fact that there's nothing. So yeah, I went into the day with the winner's mindset. I took a leadership role and I absolutely crushed it. So just going into the day with that, the mindset of just being super driven to absolutely crush the day, that alone will give you lots of energy, adrenaline rushes, endorphins, and just having a good winners champions mindset going into the day is huge in itself. On top of fueling your body with good quality food, of good quality animal foods, good quality carbs, fruits and vegetables, good quality fats, and then of course drinking enough water throughout the day, getting to bed at a good time to get enough quality sleep. All those things add up. And so it's like to answer the question of, hey Jeff, what do you eat so much to have so much energy? It's a combination of a lot of things. Food is just one part. Mindset is huge in itself. Fast forward like today, like even today in today's time, like there are so many guys that just walk around miserable, exhausted, defeated, and just absolutely hate and dread their life. And they're actually just they go to the gym to escape their life, and they use the gym as a scapegoat for mental health instead of using it as a tool to improve their life. It's a whole different like going to the gym to escape your life and going to the gym to actually get bigger and stronger and to accomplish X, Y, Z. Two very different intents going in the gym. And I just hope that for those that are trying to escape their life, I hope that you're actually doing something with the gym to improve yourself overall. But that's a whole different conversation in itself. And the amount of hate I've got on that topic alone is fascinating in itself. And yet I will continue to preach this, the fact that the gym was designed to be a tool to improve your life, not and not an outlet to escape your life. And the amount of hate I've got on that almost every time is amazing, and it makes me like, it amuses me too with the amount of trolls that and the people that comment on that are further just prove my point of with the amount of people that wake up, especially Monday morning, exhausted, miserable, defeated, and they just hate their life. They dread their life, and they're just trying to, and at that point, they're just trying to survive the week to celebrate the weekend, and they're looking at life the wrong way, and not to survive it, but to see what you can accomplish to actually achieve your goals, to live a life of happiness, success, and freedom that you desire. And success in itself, and as well as happiness, it's very subjective as to what that means to down to the individual person. But to me, like, if especially as a man, if you're not if you're not constantly striving to improve yourself, if you don't have new goals set for yourself every year and constantly trying to achieve those to become the strongest version of yourself every single day, you're falling behind. And by proxy, by default, if you're not doing those things every day, every week, every month, every quarter, every year, you're decaying, so to speak, from a literal point of view of it. And it almost goes back to like Goggins' mentality of like, I forgot where I was going with that. What was I gonna say with that? I forgot what I was gonna say with that. But like, maybe it was Eric Thomas. I forgot where I was going with that. I literally like lost track of what I want to say mid sentence. That happens to me all the time, but it's super fun, and that's also something about wake up defeated and miserable, and then if you if you're not improving yourself, like, oh yeah, so Goggins likes to preach a lot. Then and he's 100% spot on with this, and I could not agree more with this. That there's so many people that walk the earth. So in this context, guys, because I speak to mental improvement, guys in general that just walk around, that they have so much potential to be absolutely amazing and to create legacy for themselves, but yet they just walk around just miserable, defeated to survive life, to survive the week, and to essentially like smother themselves with temporary gratifications of video games, alcohol, smoking, drinking, which is alcohol, just addictions and whatever, like you name it, and all in attempts to take their mind off of the misery of their life, as well as use the gym as a scapegoat to escape their life. And it's, I don't know, like instead of doing all, I think that guys just look at life. I think lots of guys that have severe mental health obstacles every day that are borderline and going into depression and stuff like that. And I think that most guys just look at life the wrong way. Instead of trying to survive it, to actually achieve something that's worthwhile, to go through the motions and to just focus on, well, first of all, create goals for yourself to essentially discover your purpose of what is that like makes you smile, what is it that makes you happy, what is it that gets you excited and to get out of bed in the morning, and you just go after it and crush it, just whatever your purpose in general in life is. And then most guys haven't found that yet. They haven't found that, and just maybe whether or not they're even looking for it is a different story. But like they just walk around just defeated, and just it's crazy to me that why mental health is that's actually a whole different topic in itself. That might be a separate video. So, um, yeah, like energy wise. So, Jeff, what do you do to have so much energy? Mindset, good quality food, enough water for your body, um, enough water for like your build, activity levels, and stuff like that, and then as well as good quality sleep. And one thing I've learned as a Czech practitioner, functional health coach, is that 100% spot on with this. That for me, a fantastic time to be in bed by is 9:30, and advice I got from Alex Ramosi is to set an alarm to go to bed versus one to wake up. And so for me, like I try to be in bed by 9:30 at 10 o'clock at the latest, and I've learned for myself that the later that you're up, especially past 10 o'clock, like towards 11 or midnight, the worse and worse that you're gonna feel by the time you wake up, and it doesn't even matter like how late you sleep in the next day, you're gonna feel like absolute garbage for the rest of the day. And so far for me, like the more days, especially consecutive days that I get to bed by 9:30 or earlier, I wake up well rested, tons of natural energy, focused, a clear and focused mind, a good mood, a good attitude, and ready to rock and roll. On top of that, you take that, and then you take your action steps for the day that you've already planned out from the previous day, and then you just wake up and just go to town with a clear and focused mind, and life is good. Like that's how you win at life is to take care of your body with good quality food, enough water, and good quality sleep, followed by being on your purpose, and then having action steps, essential targets to hit every day, every week, every month, every quarter, and those eventually stack up for the bigger picture of the year for 5 years, 10 years, and that's how you win in life. And you have things to look forward to, you've got goals to accomplish, you're focused on the future, you're focused on your purpose, your mission, your vision, your goals. You wake up happy, you're excited, you're nourishing your body with good quality energy that your body needs to function properly. Life is good. You don't have time for toxicity, you don't have time for negative thoughts in your head because you're so focused and busy on what you have to do to accomplish your goals. At that point, you take that to the next level of setting yourself up for success. You're setting your environment up for success. You're setting your circle up for success by a eliminating distractions that are keeping you from accomplishing your goals, such as mindless scrolling social media, gossip, drama, stuff like that, politics, the news, the media, watching the game or whatever. Like get rid of all that stuff, and then setting your environment up for success of like just not allowing yourself to get distracted by essentially like taking your phone and putting that into a separate room, closing off all social media tabs on your computer when you're getting work done on your computer to not be disturbed by any notifications that have a that have the ability to distract you. Um, Setting your mindset up for success by not listening to toxicity, drama, gossip, or politics, and just to stay focused on your goals, your objectives, your mission, your purpose, and you just keep going at it, stacking those wins, and over time, you're going to achieve greatness before you know it. And once again, it all starts with having a winner's mindset of purpose, mission, vision, and goals going into the day of just winning and waking up with a clear and focused mind, well rested, tons of energy, just waking up in the day, and then to go from there and having a plan going into the day from yesterday. So to reverse engineer that whole thing, it's a combination of a lot of things, but like it's setting yourself up for success through having a good mindset with good quality food to fuel your body, good quality water itself to stay hydrated, good quality sleep to recover and grow and to wake up the next day ready to absolutely crush it with goals and action steps already set in place for you from the previous day. That is how I personally have lots of natural energy on top of Just doing things that I'm passionate about, that I enjoy doing, that put a smile on my face, especially things that give me fulfillment. That's what I do to have lots of natural energy. And once again, I haven't taken stimulus pre-workout in 10 plus years, which is so that comment to me is actually a compliment that I literally have more natural energy than most people do on lots of caffeine, energy drinks, and stuff like that. So to me that's a fun compliment. You factor that in with my vibrant personality that I actually developed over the years because I was once a massively quiet and shy introvert. So people that I've met in the last few years at events and whatnot, they think I'm nuts and think I'm crazy that I was once a massively quiet and shy introvert. It's actually pretty funny. Like, yeah, like no joke, like the first like 25, 30 years of my life, I was a massively quiet and shy introvert. It wasn't until like I flew across the country to a live event to get myself in the room of 500 plus people that are of like-minded, all have the same mission in mind and we're ready to crush it. Something in that room just encouraged me to change and evolve, and I went home a changed person. I literally went from a quiet, shy introvert to a vibrant, outgoing ambivert, and that was like 3 years ago, and ever since then it's been just nothing but awesomeness since then. Lots of evolution, lots of growth, lots of improvements, good stuff, which all happened from me forcing myself out of my comfort zone, force myself to evolve, to experience discomfort in a way of going against fear and resistance of my natural tendencies as an introvert at the time and just doing like things that terrified me as an introvert. And it all worked out for the greater good. And the quote that I personally got from Will Smith, I don't know, he might have got it from somewhere else, but like, so I first heard it from Will Smith is that the best things in life are placed on the other side of fear. And literally everything that I've been terrified of, whether it's public speaking, whether it's jumping out of an airplane for skydiving, whether it's flying across the country solo to go inside of a massive room as an introvert, speaking on camera as an introvert, um, doing 500 plus videos later, and especially as someone who has speech issues and forgets what I want to say, which I've already demonstrated that like 10 minutes ago. Well, I literally forgot what I want to say made sense, and it was pretty funny. But and just roll with and just roll with it as you go and strive on. And once again, like the best things in life are placed on the other side of fear. And so far for me in the last 10 years of doing things that terrified me, but yet actually so part of that statement too is that um when you get there, the moment that you think that you're going to be the most terrified is actually the same moment where you're having the most fun. And that to me was crazy to think about, like prior to going into it, because you're scared, you're nervous, you're freaking like you're whatever, and like when you actually get to that moment, you're like, oh my God, I'm actually having fun at this point. And then when you're done, you're just like, oh my God, I did it. It was actually super fun. Whereas prior to that, you're just like, oh my God, this sounds terrifying, and you're all nervous and you're freaking like you're stressing out and whatever. And then when you actually do it, you're just like, oh my God, I'm super glad that I did that, and I'm now a better person, a stronger person because of that, and it's awesome. So like everything I've done in the last 5 to 10 years, well, mainly in the last 10 years ago, especially was like the first step for me. But like in the last 5 years alone, well, 3 years for that matter, um, everything I've done to force myself out of my comfort zone, to evolve and to go against fear and resistance has been a game changer for me, 100%. It's been awesome. And I've literally gone against the grain. So when it comes to like health, fitness, yeah, like health and fitness, especially, when I started going against the grain and started doing the exact opposite of what the industry kept telling me, and when I learned from holistic health from Paul Chek and the Chek Institute and stuff like that, and initially, and I started going completely against the grain, it was funny to me that I could not have felt more alive and more energetic once I started doing that. Because there's a point in time where everyone was saying that eggs are bad for you because they give you cholesterol. Red meat's bad for you because saturated fat, and saturated fat's bad for you because it makes you fat, and carbs are bad because it makes you fat. And then eating carbs after 5 p.m. makes you fat, or eating in general after 5 p.m. or close to bedtime makes you fat. And then like you name it. And then like red, yeah, like my favorite red meat itself, how that's um allegedly that's bad for you. So what I did, I started doing all those things that were allegedly bad for me. I started eating more red meat. I started eating more whole eggs. I started eating more carbs. I started eating more calories before bed. I slept better. I had more energy. I felt more alive. I performed better throughout the day at my 9 to 5 job as well as the gym. It's just crazy that like how that works out. And like oh yeah, so not to turn this into a health and fitness like argument or thing, but like my statement of for those that are convinced that saturated fat is bad for you, if that's the case, if saturated fat is so bad for you, why is it part of your skin, and why is your brain made out of it? Think about that one for a minute. Like literally, like your skin is made out of saturated fats. Your brain's also made out of saturated fats and other things too that I can't really think of on the spot right now on camera. Cholesterol wise, your liver naturally makes cholesterol, and cholesterol is also part of every cell in your body, and I'm pretty sure saturated fat is too. Like not, la, la, la. There goes, started like a motherfucker again. So speech issues. But yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty sure saturated fat is also part of like every cell of your body. So is cholesterol. There's also two different types of cholesterol. One that clogs your arteries because it's bad, which comes from like trans fats, sedentary lifestyle, alcohol, all that. Maybe not necessarily alcohol, but like just it comes from lots of years of bad choices. Whereas good cholesterol actually helps your arteries and your body like flow like it's supposed to, and crazy how that works out. But they don't tell you about that part of it because that would make you better and healthy, and they can't make money when and they can only make money off you when you're sick and all that stuff, which is a whole rabbit hole in itself. So yeah, it's funny how this whole video started from the beginning of people, the trolls commenting on my videos of the forced energy is cringe. Yep, you're right. So me speaking from passion is cringe. Got it. Keep trolling. Good stuff. I appreciate the extra motivation to continue speaking from passion to get fired up. Right now, at the time of this video, it's going on 9 p.m. Central Time, and I'm winding down for the night, and that's why I'm not like super energetic right now. I'm actually like grounded, relaxed, and that's why my speech is a lot more. So normally my speech is super freaking fast, but right now part of the reason why I want to make this video tonight is because there's a good chance that I'd be more grounded, more relaxed, and when I'm more relaxed, that's my speech is slower and it's easier to understand me because otherwise I talk a freaking mile a minute, especially when you get me like wound up, it's game over. So yeah, something I have to work on for my own personal development of one of the toughest things for me is to relax and to slow down. It's like because I have so much natural energy and passion when I get fired up thinking about my goals, but my purpose, my fulfillment, and stuff like that. I get so fired up, and then you give me some caffeine. Oh my God! But yeah, like yeah. So like one of my biggest struggles in life is to actually relax. And when I relax, my speech slows down. When I start to get more grounded, and it's easier for me to get my message out there and go from there. Otherwise, I tend to stutter a lot, and I tend to just stammer on, and it's hard to even understand what I'm trying to say. And it's hilarious. Well, it's interesting. I actually like laughed at my own video that when I watched a replay of myself of like I could barely even understand what I was trying to say, and I was like, oh my God, I'm like, do I actually talk that fast? It was pretty funny. So self-awareness is the first step to recognizing that there's obstacle that you have to overcome. And so there you go. Right on. My biggest struggle is relaxing, and lots of things branch off from that. For me, speech is one of them. And just yeah. So bottom line is, Jeff, how do you have so much energy? Mindset is number one. Secondly, good quality food, enough water, good quality sleep, and on top of mindset, which is part of mindset, purpose, mission, vision, and goals, and finding things that you're passionate about that gets you fired up and that you can talk about on stage for an hour without any notes. So that is my secret. Those are, I have like a gas buildup right now, or like air pocket. Anyway, so those are my secrets to having lots of natural energy of yeah. So that's my secrets there that's been revealed. Mindsets, food, water, quality sleep, purpose, mission, vision, and goals, and just having passion for life, having passion for your purpose to accomplish your goals, to stay focused on your goals throughout the week, which is really just more mindset stuff. To have a winner's mindset going into the day with a plan of action going into the day with a good mindset to crush the day, to set your mindset up for success, to set your environment up for success, and set yourself up for success. Starts with your mind. So those are my tips for you to have more natural energy. So starts up here and stems down. Mindsets, food, water, and quality sleep. Do those four things with the plan of action, purpose, mission, vision, and goals. It's almost like a figure of fours right here. I just thought about that on the spot. Anyway, so do those things. I promise you, life will be good. That's all I got for you in this video. I will close it out with my newly created motto of wake up with purpose, execute with passion, and make your future self proud. Good night.